Hi, welcome to the next video of this multi-video series on tax. If you're an Amazon seller, even if you're an eBay seller, if you're FBA, if you're not FBA, if you're Etsy, if you're Shopify, or if you're a combination of various versions of that, various combinations, I think these videos will be very helpful to you. There's a lot of information going around. A lot of it not coming from lawyers, or even the lawyers who do may not have as much of a 50-state coverage of state and local tax. I certainly do. It's just not typical for somebody like me to represent smaller businesses, because the way it's supposed to work is that a lawyer with that kind of a background is supposed to represent companies that have sort of a 50-state footprint, like a Walmart, like a GE, Microsoft, companies that I've worked for in the past. When you're sort of helping somebody who's sort of running an operation out of their home and very successful, but they're supposed to be able to get by with their local accountant, right? Their local advisor, but their local advisors aren't sort of in tune with multi-state tax and all the constitutional law that's sort of behind multi-state tax, and that you have to know really well and be sort of really up to date with, or in tune with, just to make sure that you're not sort of relying on generic assumptions like physical presence equals nexus. You have an FBA where you have stuff in FBA warehouse, therefore you have physical presence, therefore you have nexus. There's so many. There's so much more. It's so much more abstract, and I think there's just been this constant inflow of people talking and saying things are very simple, very basic, very straightforward. But anyone who's ever been in law before will tell you nothing's ever straightforward. You take a word like retailer, what's that definition? Has anyone thought about that? Are you even considered a retailer under state law? There's just so many arguments I could rattle off, but that's not really what I'm here. I just want to tell you, just to kind of be careful. I keep saying every video, I just want to stress that, be careful out there. I work with a lot of merchants who filled out forms, they've done things, they've listened to other advisors, non-lawyers especially, and they've sent them in a direction they wish they didn't go. And sometimes I have to get them out. Sometimes I'm representing them in appeals. My clients, I don't push into appeals. I don't push into litigation. A lot of accountants and non-lawyers will sort of say, well, of course the lawyer doesn't want you to do this and that. They want to go out and litigate for you, and you'll pay them $1 million in legal fees. Well, I'm the first to tell you, I know that every merchant I speak to can't afford that. They can't afford $1 million. They can't really afford hundreds of thousands, and that's not how it's going to work. No one merchant is going to take this case, at least as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to be bringing individual cases for merchants, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to bring you into litigation. I'm actually here to keep you away from it. I want to keep you out of the fire. I want to make sure you understand your specific situation, what the risks are, and what action you want to take, that you understand it and you're fully aware of it. There's a lot more options than you realize. So just like I said, be careful out there. Happy to talk to you. Happy to answer any questions. And thanks again for watching. Take care.